Remember Joe Biden?
Guess who's back? Back again.
You know, Uncle Joe, Sloppy Joe, Pedo Joe, Dementia Joe.
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Come on, man.
Well, in his first interview, since he realized I don't have a shot in hell winning this race,
That is true.
How dare you!
so deuces, I'm out. I'm Jazz Berganzo on this. When asked, Joe said, you know what? In the end, it really wouldn't have mattered whether I would have stayed in
It's true.
or got out.
It's true.
I was going to get my ass handed to me regardless.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Well, at least he's honest. For once.
Give me a little break here.
But it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Wednesday. Well, where's this guy been? Joe Dementia. Yes, Joe Biden, former president of the United States, former dude who beat Barack Obama's ass in regarding the votes, the most ethical election ran in history. You know, Uncle Joe, Sloppy Joe, Pedo Joe. Where the hell has he been? Well, of course, he's been vacationing in Delaware, and he's been doing some things. Not really. He's just been slowly marinating, you know, just whittling away. Anyway, in his first interview, since he realized that day, that fateful day, that I just can't beat Donald Trump because I'm going to get my ass whooped. So let me hand it off to Kamala, the most competent vice president in history. He says, you know what? At the end, it really didn't matter whether I stayed in or whether I got out. All I know is I was going to get my ass handed to me regardless. Well, at least he's being honest. For once. And here we go. This comes out of the New York Post. Biden defends last-minute decision to end 2024 re-election bid in his first interview since leaving. I don't think it would have mattered. Former President Joe Dementia defended his 11th hour decision to end his 24 election bid, telling BBC, the BBC, not American news or anything else. Anyway, who cares? Wednesday, quote, I don't think it would have mattered to the election outcome had he stepped aside sooner in an interview broadcast Wednesday. Biden, now 82, bowed out of the race on July 21st after following a Democratic Party revolt over his disastrous performance in a June 27th debate against former and future President Donald Trump. Yes, if you missed that wonderful debate where Trump trounced him by just sitting back, winding Joe up, and letting him go. So you missed a goodie. That left then Vice President Kamala Harris 106 days to wrap up her campaign for the White House before she got humiliated and blown out of the building by Donald Trump. Quote, we left at a time where we had a good candidate, Biden told BBC Radios for today. In his first broadcast since leaving office January 20th. She was fully funded. And what happened was, what we set out to do, no one would thought we could do. We have become so successful in our agenda. You're right. You were successful in your agenda in wrecking the fucking country. It was hard to say, I'm going to stop now. Biden also insisted that he fully intended to serve a single term as a transitional figure following his defeat of Trump in 2020. I meant what I said when I started, that I'm preparing to hand this off to the next generation. But things moved so quickly and it made it difficult to walk away. Of course, there's Donald Trump getting, inaugurated again. In the end, Harris became the first Democratic president candidate in 20 years to get blown out of the building, destroyed, humiliated, embarrassed beyond recognition, losing all the swing state votes and the electoral vote, despite raising about $1 billion over a 6-week period after becoming the presumptive nominee. Yes, because there was no debate, even Barack Obama said, what? We're not going to have any debate? We're just going to make Kamala the de facto? Sure. In one of his final interviews before leaving office, Biden told USA Today that he thought that he could have beaten Trump again had he remained in the race, despite public polling indicated that he was going to get slaughtered, but admitted that not certain that he could have survived another term. The BBC interview with Biden was recorded on Monday in his hometown of Wilmington, Delaware, to help mark the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II in Europe. Though the 46th president did not mention Trump by name, Biden attacked his successor handling the 38-month-old invasion of Ukraine by Russia, saying that the current administration was practicing modern-day appeasement of Vladimir Putin. Yes, coming from the same guy who gave away over $200 billion to Ukraine to Captain Sweatpants because he decided to bend over and grab ankles. And, Zelensky said, sure, I'll take it. Listen to what Putin said when he talked about going into Kiev, into Ukraine, and why Biden said he believes it's part of the Mother Russia. He believes that historical right to Ukraine. He can't stand the fact that Russia's dictatorship and that he runs, and the Soviet Union has collapsed, and anybody thinks he's going to stop is just foolish. The Trump administration has suggested that Ukraine will have to accept the 2014 annexation of Crimea by Russian forces as part of the price of peace. Concession by Kiev government regards as a red line directly contrary to the Constitution. I just don't understand, Biden said. How people think that we allow a dictator, a thug, to decide he's going to take significant portions of the land that aren't his, and he's going to satisfy him. I don't quite understand. In recent weeks, White House officials have urged both countries to speed up the progress toward the potential deal, while also threatening to wash its hands of the mediator and the conflict altogether. Quote, "You got a guy who wanted to walk away from all this," Biden said. "I worry that Europe was about to lose confidence in certainly America and the leadership of America in the world, to deal not only with NATO, but also matters of consequence." The former president also defended his own administration levels of incompetence to Ukraine, telling host Nick Robinson, "We gave them everything that they needed. No, we gave them everything that they wanted to provide for their independence. And we were prepared to respond more aggressively if Putin moved in. Sure, a good finger wagging." Biden also condemned President Trump's expansionist rhetoric, which the current president has mused about taking over Canada, which of course he was joking, tongue-in-cheek. Greenland, tongue-in-cheek. Panama Canal, tongue-in-cheek. What the hell's going on here? What president ever talks like that? That's not who we are, the former president said. We're about freedom, democracy, opportunity, not about confiscations. Dementia Joe. He still got it. He still has those words of wisdom. He still has those way of words, to confuse the out of you. At the end of the day, the man will never realize how he fucked over the country for 4 years, how he bent the country over, and had them grab ankles for 4 years. How he capitulated to Ukraine, to Zelensky, gave him whatever he wanted. Zelensky said, well, at the end, I'll take your money, and I'll be back for more, so make sure to bend over for me. With the corruption, the incompetence, the buffoonery, the most incompetent vice president in the history of our republic, the man still doesn't realize it. And I don't think he ever will. Honestly, I don't think he ever will realize how destructive he was during those 4 years. Between COVID, the worst economy since Carter, high gas prices, high food prices, you name it, it was high. Jobs were leaving the country. There was no stability. We were a laughing stock in foreign policy. No country took us seriously. They took Trump seriously, and now they're taking him seriously again. So hopefully this will be the last of dementia that we hear. I don't think so. Hopefully it is, because at the end of the day, dude, just go home, eat your pudding, play with your grandkids, and just fade away. Will you? And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please have a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching, as always, and we'll see you next time. Peace.